part of the Press Play Podcast Network.
We're back.
We are?
More content, more sports hobby news. This is the Ball Card Show, the sports podcast.
For the Sports Collector.
My name's Jason Otero.
I'm Gary Lamaster.
And as always, we are brought to you by fresh off of a new renewal for another year. No, I was going to say
Oh,
the press.
that was a celebratory
Okay, pop your
off
tops.
the top. Yeah.
As always, we're part of the Press Play Podcast Network. If you like sports, if you like hobbies, if you have general interests, if you enjoy the things that you like,
If you like words that start with P.
Press Play Podcast Network.
This is going to go for a while, isn't it?
I was thinking of so many things that I could say when you say words that start with P, and then I realized I probably shouldn't say any of them because whenever we start in the first minute off the wrong foot, I'm so nervous for what's coming out of your mouth next. So
I just felt like you were starting to go somewhere. You had no idea where you're going. You were just digging it, and then you just like froze. Like, how do I get out of this?
you threw me off with your
Popping the top?
no, but it was good.
Okay.
Yeah, Luke Combs has a song that starts like a beer can, right? And
Yeah.
you just hear that, and it's like such a satisfying sound.
It is.
It
Not
could
as
be-
satisfying as this drink I'm about to
Right,
take, though.
and it can be Coca-Cola, right? I was at a job
No, it
today.
can't.
No, I gotta tell you, shut up. You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth when you're talking to me. I was at a job today. It's very hot today, very muggy in Central Ohio.
It was definitely moist.
What, 87 and
like 38% humidity.
yeah. You just
Walking
there was
through
a
soup.
breeze. It was actually cooler walking because
And
there was
you
a
have to
slight
wear
breeze.
jeans in this. You were
Yeah.
just baking steak
Yeah.
all day.
So I get halfway in the call. I go inside. I'm getting ready to present options to sell. And when you're a big guy and you move around in the heat, the sweat outside's not what gets you. It's when you sit down. It just starts pouring off of me. And this sweet old lady was like, honey, we have craft root beers and ginger ales. And I was like, screw water.
Sign me up.
She put that on ice, baby. I don't know what kind. It was some Sioux City Fall, whatever. And I was like, yes.
Notice that you did not say she gave you a Coca-Cola.
No.
Because that is a trash-ass drink.
I would confidently stand in disagreement with you on that.
Oh,
Coca-Cola is the best cola.
I'm a Pepsi man.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how to say this, so I'm just
Yeah,
going to
you
put it out
do.
there. I'll just put it like this. I think this is a good way to say it. I knew a lot of Pepsi drinkers growing up. Most of them smoked Pall Mall cigarettes.
Well,
Also, a good use of their budget was scratch-offs.
okay.
I'm going to go a step further. Just on average, hygiene, not. I just think Coca-Cola is just kind of a premier product.
No.
I can judge so okay, if you're under the age of 70 and prefer RC Cola, what do you think of that person?
I think they like what they like, and RC Cola is still probably better than Coke. Sorry. It's just how I feel. And if you if you want to get crazy with this, if you're only comparing colas, the actual cola, I won't fight you if you say you like Coke, but the entire family of products, Pepsi just annihilates everybody. Would you rather have Mountain Dew or Mellow Yellow?
Mountain Dew?
100 times out of 100. How about Dr. Pepper versus whatever the
Mr.
hell?
Pibb?
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper?
Yeah.
That's Coca-Cola, you idiot.
Okay, sorry.
Keep going.
No,
Sprite
I
or
don't wanna
Sierra
play
Mist?
this game anymore.
Oh, no, it's not even Sierra Mist anymore.
Starry.
Yes,
And
exactly.
it's actually better.
No, Sprite wins that one.
But I would rather have
Um,
7-Up than either. So,
What's Canada Dry Ginger Ale? Is that A&W? Is that in the RC family?
I don't know.
Come on, you're
Ginger
fat.
ale-
You know this. Come on.
Ginger ale straight is kind of a weird drink.
Yeah.
Like, if I've got an upset tummy, I guess I'll drink some ginger ale straight, but it's usually only good as a mixer.
You know what we grew up on?
Crushed dreams and sadness.
Whatever a quarter could buy you at that Walmart pop machine. I think it was called Mountain Thunder or Mountain
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're 100% right.
Dr. Thunder.
Yeah, Dr. Thunder, Mountain Lightning.
Dude, bring back the quarter pops. You know what? Bring them back.
Why?
Just because, all right, sure, these other ones taste better, but for a quarter, I'm happy for a quarter.
I'd be content with 50-cent pops.
Yeah. Let's keep this going. Favorite specialty soft drink?
Ooh.
I know what you're going to say.
What am I going to say?
So, you're going to say in Chillicothe, there used to be a place that would do a chocolate Coke.
Oh, I thought you meant like a pre-bottled thing.
No, like you go somewhere.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not used to be. It's some burger.
I thought they closed.
They only closed the Bridge Street location. They still have the Western Avenue
We're
location.
so fat. Guys, we're talking about a Greasy Spoon Diner an hour at least away from it.
So, but some burger is like, has a big national following.
That's
like,
a lie.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Not at all. Some burger's amazing. But yeah, they make a chocolate Pepsi, and it's the best thing ever.
Disgusting. I tried
Wrong.
it. I tried it. I like the burgers there. What do they put on it? Something sweet on
The
this.
Sun Burger sauce. It's
Burger
basically
sauce.
Thousand Island dressing.
Yeah.
But it's really good. They have the best fried mushrooms.
I'm not going to sell
Ever.
this as well as you, but it's hard to beat 44 ounces of a cherry limeade.
So, I mean, Sonic has its thing. I'm with you there. I don't hate cherry limeade at all. It's really good. The cherry limeade slushy is a better route when it's real freaking
At some
hot out.
point, when we're changing the chemical state of water, I think that's where we've breached the contract of soft
Of
drink.
humanity.
Because that's a semi-soft drink.
And intro
That's,
out.
I want to say it so bad, but I can't. So yeah, well, that's how we feel about soft drinks. Press Play Podcast Network is where you'll find
back
our
to the
contact. But let's jump in. Hey, first off, we're gonna solicit ourselves.
Well, and first off, thanks for sticking with us through that just complete cluster of an intro. It was fun, though.
Oh, we lost them.
Yeah.
This is day 2. They decided to turn it back on to see if it got better. They went over to Sports Cards Nonsense to see what was going on. Guarantee it.
Oh, shit.
Mike
Okay.
Gio's still mad, and Jesse's still frustrated that Mike interrupts him the whole time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but hey, we're back, and we're going to jump into sports cards. Before we do that, shameless plug.
Yeah, we don't do this enough because we don't want to be those guys, but we need your help.
Yeah, we need you to hop on Spotify or Apple Music, wherever you listen, and leave us a review.
Yeah. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, the subscribe button helps us a ton. Even if you never listen to another one of our podcasts again after this, if you just keep us subscribed,
Oh, man,
that helps us out.
It's true, but it sounds bad when you say it out loud.
It does sound bad when you say it like that, but it's still the truth. It helps us out a ton. We don't ask you guys for this. This might be the second time ever we've done this in 3 years.
Yeah.
But it helps us a ton. And we're getting a lot of momentum. We're gaining a lot of listenership, and you guys are to thank for that. Tell a friend and subscribe and leave us a review.
It's been really fun at shows, meeting a lot of you, getting to know your stories, finding out who
Yeah.
you like. Appreciate hanging out with you. That's always good. You want to jump into pickups in the last week? Because I've got a story.
Yeah, you go first. I've picked up quite a few things this week, too.
All right, so I didn't buy a lot.
Okay.
But at the last card show we had, there's a gentleman. Once a month he comes to the same
Safe to
show.
say he's not listening.
I don't know. He's always at the show. I believe the show's a highlight for him.
I mean, you started the story. She might as well just
I know.
jump in with
Okay.
both feet.
The impression I get is that he doesn't live in
In a house.
In a house.
Yeah.
However, he carries this trench coat and he always shows up to the card show and he always has cards to trade.
Yes.
And I think it's awesome. And he loves to just sit at your table, destroy your box, mix up all the cards. But he's trying to build friendships.
Yeah,
Let's just
and
call it what
fair.
it is.
He also has the worst takes ever on sports. He just says the dumbest shit, and you just look
Yeah.
at him and you go, "What?"
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It'd
sorry.
be like, you think Pedro Martinez will come back and pitch?
yeah, exactly.
It's like that kind of
like
stuff.
that. Yes.
He's a huge Bears fan. I've known that. And his favorite thing to do is build a big stack of Bears. Like, he'll go through my cards and set all my Justin Fields, any cool Urlacher stuff.
Yeah.
He sets it off to the side, and he's like, hey, set that off to the side for me. And he never comes back. And then nobody gets to buy those. And so last time I was like, man, I can't keep just setting these off to the side. If you want to purchase them, that's one thing. But he's like, well, what do you want to trade for? And he'll go around with a couple $1 cards and try to trade them 2 and 3 and ask me if I want this or that and sell it. And I think it's pretty cool. And then this last time he came up and he had a stack And he had a little more swagger and confidence with him as he was looking through. And he found some cool. There's like a cool, I think it's like hot sauce or hot something, like flame die cut Urlacher card out there from late 90s.
Okay.
Justin Fields, Panini Black, rookie, and something else. Nothing crazy. And he's like, what do you want to trade for? What do you want to trade for? And he had a couple dollar cards. For me, I know this is a big deal for him. Like, he loves the card show. He had a couple, like, Topps Chrome Mickey Mantle inserts, which I don't mind trading a buck for a buck if I really think it'll sell. Those will sell.
Yep.
Pick anything out of there you want. He's like, well, I do have this card, and I'd really like a couple of these Bears cards I've looked at for a while. And he pulls out an on-card auto, Will Clark, Topps Bazooka. Now, the condition is somebody has carried this in their trench coat.
Hell. Yeah.
I've seen worse come out of sleeves. I've seen worse in top loaders, actually, when I pulled them out of there. But, yeah, it's a little beat, but it was an on-card auto of Will Clark. I was like, yeah.
And Will Clark doesn't sign much.
No, it was a cool card. It's a top 60th, whatever, but it's a bazooka. So it's like a more
insert
short printed, whatever.
Yeah.
It's probably $20-$30, whatever. Well, then he like starts grabbing a few more cards, and they end up in his coat without him asking if he could take them. And I was like, well, what's going on there? He's like, all right, I got this Torrey Holt auto for you. So he's just pulling on-card autos out of everywhere. But it was cool to see him like enjoy that. I don't see a ton of Will Clark stuff out there. I've always liked it. So that was a fun
Still one of the
pickup for me.
sweetest swings you'll ever see.
Yeah. I also did great on a Pujols lot.
Yes, you did.
Oh my goodness! So there's
I'm
a
glad
guy
you had
there
a good
that
buying show.
yeah, I had a very good buy. I had a terrible selling show. It was a show where I had people at my table, 1 and 2 deep, all show, in chairs,
When
digging.
you told me what you did, I was blown away because the whole day you had people at your table.
Which
you probably had more people at your table than I did at mine.
Yes. So I did terrible on selling. People were building stacks, but they started over by me, and then that's the risk if you do. So I have a sizable 50-cent lot now, a good amount of $1 stuff. Like, tables starting to fill up as I build up my inventory. So people were staying there for 5, 10, 15 minutes, building a big stack, and then going through and being like, you could tell they had a $15 budget for the week or whatever. Yeah. So it wasn't great for that, but this guy had player lots, and he had a Pujols slot in the old school like plastic containers that'll hold like 50 cards.
Snap container, yeah.
And it looked kind of like, oh man, these are like some second, third year stuff. So I grabbed it. It's got like a second year gold medallion, Pujols, 3 of the Fleer rookies.
Yeah.
I did very well on that lot. A bunch of Jordan inserts, like the Z-Force stuff. That's $1, $2, $3.
You bought one set that was like 5 pages of the same Jordan insert, but they're all ones that sell for 50 cents to $1 a piece all day long, if not a couple bucks.
Yep. Some of them are $2, $3. But anyway, so I did really well on some low-end pickups. Nothing crazy exciting, but honestly, the fact that I knew this guy's been picking this card out for a while.
That's kind of cool.
He loves cards so much with a lot of the other stresses that he's dealing with that a lot of people aren't. It made his day. It made my day.
Yeah.
And it was really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does have some really random takes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, what did you pick up?
So we started at the beginning of the week. So we were set up at the same show. Like I said, it was weird because I felt like you had people at your table more than I did at mine. And they were pulling more stuff out of your boxes than were mine. But I had a really good selling show.
Yeah.
To the point where I was kind of panicking because I've got another show this weekend. And I was like, I need to refill some stuff. So Sunday, after our show on Saturday, Sunday, I was looking to see what shows were reasonably close. The closest one was a show I go to in Cincinnati every couple of months. It's about an hour and a half. And I drove down there. And I picked up probably $350, $400 worth of inventory for $140. There was a Wander triple threads numbered to 9 rookie, a Wander Franco rookie I got for a steal. And then there's one guy who I always buy from. He has the best baseball dollar boxes outside of my stuff that I've ever seen. And I probably, and when I buy 100, 150
I love that you
cards
qualified
from him,
it.
Yeah, 100%.
Can he not just be equally as good as you are? Okay.
No, that's not how that works.
Okay.
But I usually buy 100, 150 cards from him, and he always, like this time, he sold them to me for 50 cents a piece. And then he had a bunch of $3, $4, $5, $8, $10 cards for 50% off, and he was underpriced. I bought like 5 or 6 Junior Caminero Mojos, and I averaged $2 a piece on them. They're $15 cards. So that was really good. And then throughout the week, there have been some really big steals I've had on Facebook. I always like to have at least one Ken Griffey Jr. auto in my cases. They always sell, and they're hard to get at a price point that
and it's going to draw
sense.
attention to your table.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I bought and it's a Leaf, but it's numbered to like 12 or 15, and it's a Ken Griffey Jr. Randy Johnson dual auto. And it's a red, and it's in the Reds uni with the non, you know what I mean,
yep.
the non-licensed version of a Reds uni. I picked that up. Comps on it are 2 to 225, and I think I paid 140 for it. And then I bought today a Wander Franco Gold Bowman Chrome rookie to 50 from the National. And Wander, I sold a Wander to 50 last week for 230, and I got this one for $100.
That Wander to 75 still hasn't moved for me because it's out of what was that? Gallery, the blue foil to 75.
Yeah, Gallery is just a tough product. You got to find the right buyer for it, or you have to price aggressively.
It's pretty cheap.
Yeah, it just, I mean, it's kind of one of those is what it is things.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, I've picked up a decent amount of that type of stuff. I just bought I've talked about this all the time. If you're getting into case breaks of Bowman, just go find somebody that's selling the paper spot. I just picked up all the paper from a break of 2022 Bowman and 2022 Bowman Draft Super Jumbos for $75.
Nice.
That's Ellie. That's Jackson Holiday. Probably get 3 or 4 Ellie papers, 3 or 4 Jackson Holiday papers, and quite a few other guys that have some uptick. Like Jackson Churio papers.
Any PC stuff?
PC stuff this week. Oh, I did get that Ramirez at the show last week. Mm-hmm. It's not technically PC, but it is PC.
Well, what number are you throwing on that? PC numbers?
Yeah. I put it's up for double comps.
Yeah.
However, there's only one comp. It's a Jose Ramirez Topps Finest Refractor Rookie Auto PSA 9. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those cards that if I wanted to coin flip, I could crack it, and there's a chance it tens if I resub it. Yep. Beautiful card. And the guy who brought it to the table is another dealer who sets up a lot of shows, a guy I've gotten to know. And it was funny because he shows it to me, and I was like, oh, what do you want for that? And he gives me a number, and I'm like, okay, I'll take it.
And then he's like,
wait a minute, I don't know. And I was full comps. Like, he was at full comps. I was willing to pay full comps.
Beautiful card. Yeah.
It's awesome. And then he was hemming and hawing, and he was looking at a couple other things. I was like, I'll give you $225 in trade value. Mm-hmm. Like, he ended up just taking my cash, but it was hilarious because he was like, yeah, I think I'll like 185 for it. I was like, okay, I'll take it.
He's used to beating him up a little bit.
And he was like, wait a minute, I don't know if I want to sell it now.
That's funny. All right. Well, once you've reviewed our podcast, now that you're back, thank you for that. I'm sure you left this podcast to go do that. Let's talk about a call up that I've been calling way longer than you have. CES is up for the Reds.
Yeah, first major league hit was an upper deck, no doubter.
I was just trying to steal your thunder there.
Smoked it.
Yeah.
I know you weren't. I just ignored it.
But in fairness, everybody was like, why is he not already called up?
Yeah.
So I saw Ellie at short last night.
Yeah, they gave McClain a night off.
Yeah. So he had a sick play.
Yeah, because he's an athletic freak show.
He's just a freak show. So what does the CES dynamic do to that lineup?
So I think the CES dynamic is Spencer Steer will start bouncing around between left field, third, and first. Mm-hmm. He had been kind of relegated to first left field since Ellie was at third. Yep. But when they give Ellie a day off, he'll play third. CES will go back and forth between first and DH, and he and Votto they'll just play the splits.
Do you realize how deep this lineup is getting?
Yeah. And that's not counting... You've still got 3 or 4 legit guys between AAA and AA.
Yeah.
Matthew Nelson.
Don't forget about Cam.
Along. Yeah, well, Cam's still at low A. It's a long ways away yet, but yeah.
If he picks up the trajectory half these other guys have, he'd be there pretty quick.
Yeah.
Something's going right in that farm system. We're excited about it, but you had mentioned that last couple episodes. Man, it's just where there's just one little thing that has to happen, and he's up.
Yeah,
So-
and he's making an impact already. He's 3 games in, batting .350. He's got 4 or 5 RBIs already. He's got a jack, a couple of doubles. Like, the dude
Whatever
hits.
they're doing to prepare guys to come up, it's not common for them to come up and be that hot. Like, out of the gate.
No,
like-
I mean, a perfect example of that, like right now, I'd say that most people would agree that Baltimore probably has the best or tied for the best farm system in baseball, and they do a really good job of developing hitters. But Colton Cowser was murdering AAA this year and came up, and he's hitting like 105 in 2 weeks in the majors.
Yep.
Baseball's hard.
Yep.
And nobody's panicking. Colton Cowser's a good baseball player, but baseball's hard. It's a hard sport, and you're going to have downturns. I had somebody the other day on Facebook said something about Brett Beatty just being a boring average player, and they called it. And like, it's Brett Beatty's played 70 games.
Yeah.
I was like, you would have had a heart attack if you cared about baseball when Mike Trout came up, because Mike Trout's first 60 games in the bigs were awful. He had like 220, had a 35% K rate, and people were like, oh, this guy's going to be terrible. No, baseball's hard.
Yeah.
Every level's a tough adjustment. The pitching just gets better. The hitting just gets better. And if you can't adjust, you're going to fall to the wayside.
Yep. I agree. I agree with everything you said for a change.
Shocker.
I wanted you to enjoy that moment.
I did.
Let's talk about some products coming out. Up first next week, Topps Chrome.
Yeah. Going to be a good product. Corbin Carroll's the big chase. There has not been, that I have seen it, I don't think I would have missed it, any talk of any super SPs like that were supposed to be in last year. I think that Fanatics learned their lesson because how they screwed that up last year.
Well, speaking of Fanatics screwing it up, there's rumor going around that no one has yet pulled a Jordan Walker auto out of Finest.
So there's a chance that is either a screw up or it's the same thing that happened with Nelson Rada and Bowman. What's crazy
Which we had a listener bring that up this week to us.
So what's crazy about the Nelson Rada thing in Bowman, if you're not aware of it, there has not been a single pack pulled Nelson Rada Chrome auto that is numbered to 150 or less. And the ones that are available on eBay, if you look at the autographs on them, they're obviously not the same person signing as all the ones that are coming out of packs. Now, I happen to know a retired MLB agent who has had conversations with Rada and Rada's agent, and it has been confirmed that all of the low-numbered Chrome stuff was stolen and the autos forged. Now, what's crazy about that is that Topps has not addressed it at all, which is real weird. And they're probably not addressing it because Bowman sold a lot and he was on the checklist, and they could be in a situation where they got to reimburse a whole lot for it. So they're just going to ignore it, I think, and pretend that it didn't happen. But it definitely happened, and there's a chance that might have happened with the Jordan Walker stuff too. We'll see if stuff starts showing up on eBay, and if it does, if the autos match his known autos.
How are they going to address that if that's going on?
They either address it or they don't. I think the business calculation for them is their cards that are autographed all say Topps guaranteed auto. The question for them becomes, what's our exposure worse for? Having to reimburse for each one of those individual autos that might be called out to us, or having to reimburse for cases of product. Mm-hmm. I think they've made the business decision that it'll be cheaper for them to have to reimburse people for bad autos than for bad product.
All right.
That's my guess as to what that situation is.
Topps Chrome. So Bowman's actually been pretty readily available at retail. Do you think we'll be finding the same thing with Chrome?
I think you'll find the same thing with Chrome that you did with Bowman. The first wave of it will fly off the shelves, and then it will be available.
Yeah.
I walked into a Target today, and there was a Bowman Mega sitting there, and I grabbed it. So it's just a matter of that first wave clearing out. I think it will be available, but it's a great rookie class for Chrome. I plan on probably stashing some boxes because you got Corbin Carroll, you got Volpe, you got Jordan Walker. Like there's a lot of
class is worth it.
Yeah, it's worth it to stash and hang on to it.
A fun product to open too.
Oh, it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. I will rip some of it too, but now Topps Chrome is a product that if I'm buying stuff to stash, I'm probably buying hobby, and I'm probably ripping retail.
Okay. Why?
Right? What'd you say?
Why? Price point?
Price point, and again, this comes into play for another product that we're going to talk about. The reason I'm ripping retail is because as a show dealer who specializes in loaded up low-end boxes, I have a awesome outlet to move the stuff that most people tend to just keep in boxes for years and years and years and never sees the light of day. So for me, I can rip 20 blasters, and it's going to be a very rare scenario where, worst case, I don't at least break even. Realistically, I'm probably going to see a 25 to 30% return on that over time at a minimum. Because even the base rookies, the base Chrome rookies of the kind of just moderately okay guys are going to sell, like Spencer Steer stuff will sell for $2.
Yeah.
So like that's the reason for me. Now, if you're just an everyday average person ripping to hit big cards for your collection, you should probably stick with hobby unless you're ripping in bulk. If you're going to buy by the case, I feel like Topps Chrome is the same thing as Bowman. If you're going to rip by the case, you're probably going to do okay as far as hitting autos and things like that. You're not going to do much worse than you would in hobby.
All right. So this last week you said something to me that I never thought I'd hear.
Yeah. What I never thought I would hear is you talking on the podcast because your mouth is 4 inches to the side of your mic and you're talking quiet.
I think everyone can hear me just fine.
Okay.
I found a box of hockey cards I've never gone through.
I know. You're just over here digging through stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Little hollow action?
Yeah, that's a buck or two, right?
Yeah, a little Lidstrom. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a rookie, too.
Oh.
That might be more than a buck or two. Where'd this box come from, bro?
I don't know. Should have gone through that before. Oh, there's another one of his rookies.
Yeah. All right.
Anyway, you started talking and not talking crap about non-licensed baseball, which for me, of all the things I never thought you'd open, it'd be non-licensed baseball.
Yeah. So what happened was this. What had happened was this week I got the itch to rip some product, and I was going to try to find some Bowman, and I couldn't find any Bowman. And I'm not hardcore on ripping retail flagship tops, especially Series 2. So I found some Donruss blasters. Not blasters, megas. And I looked at them, and they guaranteed an auto. And it was 19 cards a pack and 6 packs a box. Guaranteed auto, and they were like $40. I went, huh. So I grabbed 2 of them. I took them home and I ripped them, and I was like, wait a minute. As I'm ripping this stuff, I'm going through it, and again, this applies the exact same way as what I just talked about with Topps Chrome. I'm looking through all these. Each one of those packs has 5 or 6 foil cards. Almost every pack has at least 1 numbered card. Mm-hmm. And you're guaranteed an auto. I'm like, well, that's a 50-cent card. That's a $1 card. That's a $3 card.
Yep.
That's a $1 card. That's a 50. Every single pack I opened was a minimum of about $7 or $8
mm-hmm.
in retail value for me to sell. And there's 6 of those packs in a box. So minimum, I'm breaking even.
Yep.
And that's tossing half the cards in the trash.
Now, this is not a product to sit on.
No, not at all. But like, so for example, so they were so good that the next day I went back and bought 3 more. So I ripped a total of 5 of them. I hit a numbered Ellie that's like a $50 card. It's a gold unleashed. Hit quite a few numbered Ken Griffey Jr. cards that are all $3 to $5 a piece. Hit some really low numbered rated prospect stuff. 2 of my autos were Blaze Jordan, top 50 prospect in baseball.
Yeah.
Numbered a Brooks Lee auto that's numbered to like 75. None of these are huge, massive cards. 2 of the boxes had points in them instead of autos, but it was 1,000 points. It's like $60.
Yep.
So at the end of all of it, I looked at it and I went, I'm going to double my money on this stuff.
And I picked up a numbered Ellie.
Yeah.
Which for me that'd be cool.
Like I'm gonna double my money on this stuff.
So I mean, and we know what Topps, and I don't know if Fanatics is gonna have a different approach, but Topps is gonna do everything they can to make sure Ellie's on Series 1 next year.
Yeah.
And
because it'll drive the product.
Yeah, now's the time. If you're pulling the numbered stuff out of non-licensed, you're going to chase licensed stuff later. Sell it, or if it's really cool auto and you want to hang on, that's a great budget way to get in on an Ellie auto. It's worth chasing at that price.
Well,
in my opinion.
there's Ichiro autos in the product. Yeah. There's Ken Griffey Jr. autos in the product. One of the autos I pulled was super cool. It's not a big dollar thing, but you just don't see it. It was a Robin Ventura auto.
Yeah. Yep.
Like,
so let's go down the list on a few other non-licensed here.
Yep.
To see your take on them. So Don Russ in this scenario seems like a pretty good pull.
The price point makes it very attractive.
Yeah. Let's keep that going. Same theme. Prism Baseball.
Not at the price point, especially not hobby. Now, here's the nice thing with Prism Baseball.
Retail. Are there any guarantees on Megas?
Yeah. Okay. But here's what I would tell you if you're going to do Prism Baseball. I would stick with Prism Draft. And I would look for the 2022 stuff that has Jackson Holiday that Walmart has marked down to $17 a blaster. Yep. That's a no-lose scenario there.
So then let's talk like the higher-end non-licensed stuff. So like you have Flawless, you have NT.
Wouldn't touch NT with a 10-foot pole.
Why?
So the price point versus what you get doesn't work for me.
Okay.
If the cards were on-card autos, okay, but they're sticker. Mm-hmm. So sticker auto on a product that's going to cost you $400 a box and it's non-licensed, I'd rather go buy Topps Tribute for the same price point.
Which is still kind of brutal at that price point.
It is, but they're both $400 to $500
yeah.
and one's licensed and one isn't. You get the same number of cards and they're both sticker autos.
So we've had a new influx of like newer collectors hopping on to the show lately. So, big differentiation. Most of you already know this, but just in case you don't, we talk about on-card, sticker autos, and all that. So, there's certain products where you'll see the Sharpie has gone directly onto the card.
Which means the player has held that card in their hands, which is a big differentiator for a lot of people, a lot of collectors.
These sticker autos, they have a big sheet that has a bunch of stickers on it, and they go by and
100
sign.
stickers to a sheet.
Do you need to steal my thunder for this fun fact?
I wasn't. I was just telling him it was 100 stickers a sheet.
It's 100 stickers for a sheet, guys. There's 100 of them. If you wonder how many, it was 100.
Anyway, so so the on cards hold more value. They're a little harder to find. There's not a ton of products that do that, and half of that is for expedience. You know, some of these redemptions are because somebody did not want to wait to hold each card, wait on the shipping and all that. They'd rather just sign a sheet.
And it really took off during COVID.
Yep.
There have been sticker autos for a long time, but they were more the exception than the rule. And then when COVID came around, it just became.
All right, so no NT, but Flawless for you.
Flawless for the price point isn't terrible if you want to rip a high-end product. One, the cards are beautiful. Two, there's some really cool stuff you can get. The Hall of Fame bat knob cards are freaking awesome. You either love them or you hate them. I happen to love them. The Babe Ruth bat knob card is a grail piece.
Those are cool.
On-card autos. Some cool designs, some decent inserts, and they're all super low numbered. The other non-licensed product that you didn't have on the list there, but that I want to touch on that I think is probably the best value in non-licensed product for really good-looking cards is Leaf Trinity.
Uh-huh.
You cannot beat the patches.
Well, the patches are filthy.
They're filthy. The cards look amazing. The autos are nice. They're low numbered.
Now, whether it's right or wrong,
yep,
an RPA Leaf versus an RPA Flawless or NT. Flawless and NT are going to have a higher resale because
Leaf's going to be about half.
Yeah, it's a perceived value. However,
which means it's going to be about 20% of licensed.
Yeah. So,
but they look amazing, and if you want a cool card for your PC, you can't beat it.
And if you ever bully a break, so what I mean by that is if there's a case of a product and you're grabbing like 40% of the teams, that's not a bad one to do it in.
No, not at all.
The Leaf Trinity stuff.
And you can get, the boxes aren't crazy. They're like $240 and you get like 6 cards, 5 autos. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not a bad value for what it is.
Yeah. Yep. So I was just surprised to hear you say that. I wanted to make sure that we hit on that. Football is right around the corner.
Yeah.
I was sitting on the couch with my wife watching Quarterback on Netflix, which has been pretty fun.
You've been telling me to watch it. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
I can't believe you haven't. Mariota, Patrick Mahomes, and then who's the third one? Oh, Kirk Cousins, which curveball there. I
Weird
knew about
dude.
him wearing a chain. I did not know he was in a cult.
He's basically a crazy Mennonite.
Yeah.
Not all Mennonites are crazy. He's like a crazy Mennonite.
They actually seem really cool, great people. I just wasn't expecting that. And it's cool watching like the different person. Like Patrick Mahomes just knows genetically he's a freak.
Correct.
Marcus Mariota, so far where I am in the season, is he's really feeling the pressure of this new opportunity in Atlanta, all this. It's basically hard knocks for quarterbacks. It just follows 3 of them throughout the season. So it's been pretty cool. So my wife and I have been getting pumped up for football. I had a job where I was working Sundays. So now with a new job, I will be home, and we're already talking about it's going to be a crock pot of chili. We're watching football all day.
Yeah.
So can't
red
wait
zone.
for that.
You got to red zone it.
Aaron Rodgers showed up in New York, all business. He didn't have any Con Air costume going on this time. Man, would I love that division to have the Jets in just as a troublemaker team. And I think that's something that's achievable this year.
The question, good.
There's people talking about Super Bowl or bust. New York fans, get over yourselves.
Yeah, the question in that situation is very simple. Are you getting a rejuvenated chip on his shoulder Aaron Rodgers, or are you getting Brett Favre that you got when he got traded to you from the Packers?
I don't think it's quite Brett Favre level, but I agree with you. Like, did you spend enough time in your ayahuasca saunas in the off season?
Because 2 things are true about Aaron Rodgers at the same time. 1, he's an all-time great quarterback.
Yes.
2, he's also an all-time weirdo.
Yeah.
Like, that dude is a weirdo. I don't know how else to phrase it. He's just a weirdo.
I don't want to say it, but I look back at every episode I've watched, and he's like, I've recently been reading this 800-page book on the ruins in this country.
Yeah.
And what that meant for civilizations in the Bronze Age.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep. He's a weirdo.
I watched TikTok for 4 hours last night.
Relatable content.
This has been the Ball Card Show, the sports podcast.
For the Sports Collector.
See ya.
Peace.